Welcome to another episode of Football Bloods TV. I'm Sabesh Manmathan, and today we will be looking into the most exciting players in the new Premier League season, which is only due one day now before the first game of the season, Arsenal versus Brentford. And we are doing a live watch along, so do join us there. All right, so we'll be looking into the most exciting players club by club, and we are only going to select one player out of there which we feel can be the most exciting player this season. It doesn't matter if the player is going to do worse or it's going to be doing great or what, but they are going to be the player that how do I say this? The player that we can watch, the player to watch this season. Yes, I got it. The players to watch this season. So, without further ado, let's straight away go into the action. The first team, Arsenal. So, Arsenal, well, they have the new signing of Ben White and Lekanga and all this, but I think the player to watch this season is going to be Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. And the reason why is because we have seen how poor Aubameyang was in the friendly games where he barely managed to even score a goal when he was even in front of the goal. I don't know what happened to him. And last season was pretty bad for him after a run-up of 3 to 4 seasons winning the Golden Boot. And then suddenly to see him last season and then followed by the pre-season, I don't know what's going wrong with him, but he has some new hairstyle change and all that. But let's see what is going to be happening to Aubameyang this season onwards. It's going to be pretty exciting to see how the season is going to work with Arsenal, with their new squad and all that. Next will be Aston Villa. So none other than Emiliano Buendia. So this 24 years old aged player who is an Argentinian right winger and also an attacking midfielder who I really wanted in Manchester United, but pretty much he went there, and it's because Grealish is no more there. And I believe Buendia is such a talent, and Aston Villa, they did a very good deal by just bringing him in up to like 35 million. That's a lot of money they have saved in terms of how they spend on Grealish, you see. So Buendia is a very exciting player. In fact, they have a lot of other signings, but Buendia is the one that we will be focusing on. Next, Brentford, the obvious one, you already know, Toney. So he was the goal scorer, in fact, the top scorer of last season. In Brentford last season, he managed to score up to 31 goals in 45 appearances. And guess what? He's only 25. So I can see him bagging in more goals this season. In fact, I even have him for my first game in the Fantasy Premier League. Let's see what's going to happen there. Next in the list, Brighton, Bissouma. So Bissouma is a player that I believe should not be playing for Brighton at this moment because he is such a talent, and he's only like, I think he's too young, and he's playing as a centre midfield. He controls that. He just reminds me of players like N'Golo Kante, Ndidi and all this. So the number 8 is pretty much a player to watch this season. Let's see how he's going to do. The next in line, Burnley. So Burnley, the only one that I have focused on is the 30-year-old forward Chris Wood, who has now bagged in 46 goals in up to 127 appearances in Burnley. And we have seen how much Chris Wood puts in the effort, bangs in goals with his head, with his leg, even scores tremendous goals. So Chris Wood is a player that we should also watch. How is he going to do this season? The next one in line, Chelsea. Who do you think? Mine is going to be Romelu Lukaku, because I know Romelu Lukaku is already a Chelsea player. It's just a matter of signing when we see him with the Chelsea jersey. So the so close to 100 million signing Lukaku, who originated as a Chelsea player, went off, went there, went here, went to Everton, went to Manchester United, to Inter Milan, back to Chelsea. I can see him banging in goals, but we have to see whether is it a curse for Chelsea in their forwards after Drogba. Let's see what's going to happen there. Next one, Crystal Palace, Wilfried Zaha. Who else? So, you know, something that is going to be very exciting with Crystal Palace is Patrick Vieira as the manager. We have never seen how he's going to play, and he never managed a Premier League club before. It's going to be pretty exciting there, and having Wilfred Zaha in his team. Let's see how he's going to team up with Eze as well, the other player that we have. But all eyes are on the 29-year-old Wilfred Zaha. Let's see what's going to happen. Next one, Everton. I'm going for Calvert Lewin. I think last season Calvert Lewin did pretty well with 16 goals in the whole competition in the Premier League. So I can see him still banging in goals. He didn't get proper chance in the Euros, but Calvert Lewin is quality, and I believe he will keep doing what he's doing. But yeah, as I was saying, the players to watch. So can he be consistent enough like what he was last season? So the next one, coming from Leeds, the 25-year-old midfielder who is a player where Leeds are trying to keep, and he is Calvin Phillips. Okay, so Calvin Phillips is a player where Liverpool was interested and many other clubs were interested, but Leeds say no. If you're going to get him, you need to get him very expensive, because they saw what happened with that Grealish deal, right? So they are trying to say like, we have a player that is equal to what Grealish is, so why are we going to give cheaper? They have a point there. So yep, Phillips is going to be a very exciting player this season. Next one, Leicester City. I'm going for the new young forward that they just bought in, Patson Daka, who is the top scorer for Salzburg last season with 27 goals. And guess what? He's only 21, man. He's 21 years old. He still have a long career to go. And looking at Leicester City's forward, Iheanacho, Jamie Vardy, and then now we have Daka. So I think it's time for Jamie Vardy to start from the bench. Yeah, we'll see what is going to happen with Daka then. Next in line, Liverpool FC. So Liverpool have been very quiet in the transfer after the signing of Konate, which was the earliest they signed. But my player to watch is going to be Virgil van Dijk. The reason is because Van Dijk missed almost the whole season of last. After the Everton injury, he has barely came back, and recently I watched him in the friendly where he and Joe Gomez came in together, but Van Dijk was not the player that he was. He wasn't looking great, but it's just a preseason and he just came back. We don't have to push him to the limit, you see. So Van Dijk is a player that I'm very keen. Hopefully he comes back as how he went. The next one, Manchester City. Who else but the 100 million worth Grealish? He has a lot to prove, whether he worth 100 million or not. So yep, my player to watch for City this season is definitely going to be Jack Grealish. Let's see what he is going to do, because it seems like he's the most expensive signing that City has ever done. Next, Manchester United, another player that we all will definitely agree on, Jadon Sancho. After 2 transfer summers, we have been trying out for Sancho. Finally, he's here, and he has to prove that he is worth to be the replacement that we want in that right wing role. So let's see what Jadon Sancho is going to bring it to us. The next one, Alan Saint-Maximin for Newcastle. So for me, this player is the player that I'm going to be watching this season, because this Frenchman is only 24 years old and we can see his dribbling skills in the pitch. Obviously, he needs a good striking. Like, he has Callum Wilson now, and yeah, players are there like Jonjo Shelvey to give him the ball back and forth. But Maximin is a speedster, and let's see what he's going to do in this season. The next one, the promoted club who went down and came back up, and the same player for me as what I chose earlier last time for Norwich City, and it's going to be Todd Cantwell. I think Cantwell, ever since the signing of Buendia to Aston Villa, I think Cantwell is the only player now that has to prove a point. Why is he still at Norwich? Because I feel Todd Cantwell is a super player. He did justice in the first half of the Premier League when Norwich were promoted last time. So let's see what Cantwell can offer this time. So the next one, Che Adams. So the reason why I chose Che Adams from Southampton is because Danny Ings is no longer in Southampton. We already know that Ings is now in Aston Villa. That shock signing out of nowhere. So looking at this, Che Adams has a lot of opportunity to shine, to take up that role, to be the top scorer for Southampton. So that's the only reason why I'm going to choose Che Adams. The next one is pretty exciting. So the next one is Spurs. So Spurs, I have two players that I want to be watching this season. None other than the pair between Harry Kane and Heung-min Son. So I'm choosing Kane definitely because Kane's rumor was all over the place, and end of the day, Nuno came out and said that Kane is staying, he's going to play against City and all that. So in my feeling, if Kane leaves, then my player to watch is going to be Son. But since Kane is there, so yeah, he is the one that I'm going to be watching this season to prove that he still has it before leaving Spurs soon, I guess. The next one, the newly promoted Watford. So the player here is a very, very young player who has actually impressed Spurs, and his name is Ismaila Sarr. And Spurs were actually asked to pay 50 million if they want Ismaila Sarr, and I believe Sarr worth that much because I know how he has played before Watford got relegated. Sarr was incredibly good, and yeah, looking at Ismaila Sarr, there's a lot of opportunities for him if he excel well this season. The next one in line is West Ham United's Declan Rice, the player that I thought will be coming to Manchester United this season. He's only 22 years old. He's the captain of the team. What else can I say? Declan Rice, he has proved his worth in the Euros. He has done pretty much in West Ham. He's still there. He's still young. Declan Rice is definitely my player to watch. And finally, Wolverhampton Wanderers. So for this team, I'm going for the only one, and his name is Raul Jimenez, who had a massive head injury last season. He missed out, similar to what happened to Virgil van Dijk. I would like to see if this player is also able to come back up strong and be a player that we all love. All right, so these are the 20 players that I feel will be a very interesting pick for this season, and these players are the ones that is going to be a game changer for their team. We never know, even though we know football is a team game, but these players have certain expectations from their fans. So let's see what is going to happen. So finally, before ending this video, I would like to also talk about some exciting managers that we must also take note. The first one is definitely Patrick Vieira for Crystal Palace. So Vieira has never managed a Premier League team before, and let's just hope that Vieira do well. Who knows, if Arteta gets sacked, if he's not doing well, then Patrick Vieira is going to be the Arsenal manager if he's doing well for Palace. The next one is the new Everton manager after Ancelotti, Rafa Benitez, who is back to the Premier League. So I believe Everton will be very strong this season because we know what kind of a capable manager Benitez is. And yeah, another one, the former Wolves manager, Nuno. So Nuno is now in Spurs. We have seen Spurs beating Arsenal on the other day, but that is just pre-season according to Arsenal fans. But we never know what's going to happen, and yeah, it's going to be exciting. So Wolves also have their own manager, Bruno Lage. Let's see how he's doing as well. So this is it. This is a small summary of how this season is going to be exciting. And don't forget to check out on our channel. We have a lot of exciting content. We have our watch-alongs coming soon. FBTV Prediction League is starting. So catch us all there. And don't forget to press up the bell icon. See you all the next time. FBTV. Ciao.